Looks like you've lost weight since last time you were on this stage.
Oh, Richard.
All right, let's make it official, shall we? Let's anoint this thing and get it going.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, right? Good people of Minneapolis and the surrounding counties, let's say hello to Jensen, Ackles, and Padalecki.
I'll just say real quick, Steve Norton and I have to catch a plane, so we're not going to be here for the outro of you guys. I just want to say goodbye, Minneapolis. Thank you for treating us so nicely.
Look at that. I love it when they pretend to like Steve. I love it when he's honest with his hate for me. Billy? Billy's last man's in it. It sounds like you guys are playing a coffee house. You got one guitar player, mellow pan, enjoy.
Hello!
What's up, Minneapolis?
So we were walking down the hall just a second ago, and I was like, oh, let me just hop in here and go to the bathroom real quick. And as I walk into the bathroom, I hear, any way you want. I'm like, oh, shit! Come on! So there's a dark spot on his pants. Now you know why. Oh, is he gonna regale us? Jensen Borja, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you doing the drums?
Where did that come from? Yeah, how nice.
I mean, since we've lost the entire band, I kind of feel like there's so many pedals down here. Thank you.
Y'all are now witnesses to our first and only ever concert.
I gotta say, that was pretty good, man.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
Not spite yourself.
Thank you.
So, long story short, if that was American Idol, we did not get through to Hollywood.
Golden ticket.
We did not get the golden ticket. Hi, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Thank you for being here and for not throwing up in the last 3 minutes. It's awesome to be here and to see some new faces and some friendly faces from the past. Let's get to some questions. How are you?
Hi, I'm Nicole. My question is for Jensen.
Well, no, let's go over here then. Who's your question for? Just kidding, kind of go.
Hi. So you collaborated with Steve, and then you got to sing with Corey from Submat. I'm just wondering if there's a dream collaboration you'd like to do, dead or alive person.
No, I don't know if you noticed the skill set that I have on the instruments up here. I don't know. No, I don't. To answer your question, no. I don't have I wish. So I wish I had an answer for you, but I don't.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who would you want me to collaborate with? See, it's not that easy.
everybody around her.
So give me an answer, give me anybody.
Yeah, I don't, I mean, at this point, it's just like, when those moments present themselves, then hopefully I'm able to rise to the challenge. When Corey reached out and then I reached back out, and then that just kind of happened very, organically. There's, we've got friends that are amazing musicians, like this man to my right here. We've talked about collaborating. There's a lot of different, it's all about timing and inspiration and when that opportunity presents itself. So hopefully I get a lot more of those opportunities in the future. But to pick one person or even a group of people, I couldn't do that. I just hope for the opportunity, whoever it might be.
I hope for that for you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Cindy from St. Paul. First of all, I just want to say that I love your work and you're amazing. And I also want to say that I really enjoyed watching your wives on the show too. My question is, so I would love to see them, your wives, both do a panel. And I was just wondering if that might ever be a possibility.
Yeah, thank you. I guess the quick answer for me, and
Right now, Daniil, Jenny, come on!
that sounds great to me. Problem is that you'd have to be watching our kids. So you'd miss something.
Somebody's got to be doing the real work.
I think bring the kids with. Who's going to watch them? Ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer. I think they'd love to. I'm sure they will. Not speaking for Daniil or Genevieve, but to speak, having spoken to Genevieve, she'd love to be here. She wants me to do the spate method of parenting and start bringing one child per convention. I think she just wants to get rid of one. She's like, I can do two. But so a few of them might be around a little more often.
3 is exponentially harder than 2.
Yes.
I don't know, I mean,
yes, you got it.
Like I see nice families of 4 out sometimes, and I'm like, must be nice. Isn't that adorable? Because you add that one extra element, game changer.
Yeah. But yes, they would love
And I don't know why.
Yeah. Cindy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Go St. Paul.
My name is Sonia. I was wondering, over the many, many seasons that you filmed, what was the most embarrassing moment on set?
Well, you had a lot.
I probably had the most. I do think ripping my pants. Yeah. But then I think...
But you weren't embarrassed by that. You thought it was hilarious.
I did ultimately, but at first I was like, why is it so airy? My thigh.
I think one that probably haunts you a little bit is the bowl of blood.
Yes. Season 6? French Mistake.
Yeah.
There was one, we're shooting with Sebastian Roche, Balthazar, and we're in Bobby's house, like in pseudo Winchester Universe, and he puts a bowl of blood on the couch, and Jensen or Dean is doing something, and I'm nearest to the bowl, I'm standing here as Sam, and the bowl is like right here, and then I can kind of see, we're in the middle of the scene, and the bowl starts tipping, and instead of going like, I got it, okay, just go back, I go, blood everywhere, like fake blood. Blood on the couch, blood. And Jensen goes, dude, why don't you just go like this? I was like, I don't know, it was happening.
It looked like this. It looked like this. literally that slow.
Yeah.
He could have just.
I did.
That's it. He was in arm's reach, and instead he jumped back, and then it went all over the couch, all over the floor, everywhere, and it was like a 40-minute cleanup.
Yeah, that sucked. What about you?
Probably shapeshifter. We were in like an alley, right?
Yeah, downtown.
And it was the scene. It was like, I think it's a shapeshifter, and I couldn't, for some reason, I just couldn't spit out the word shapeshifter, and I was like, it's a shapeshifter. It's like, we gotta go because I think we're dealing with a shapeshifter. And then he's just like, what? Shut up, hang on. Okay, let's just go back, there we go. There, we gotta go, I think we're dealing with a shapeshifter. I couldn't say it, and it was like one of those moments where it's like, what's happening in my brain? And so it got down to the point where I was like, sir, we gotta get out of here. I think we're dealing with a shapeshifter.
And then so he didn't tell me he was going to do that, so I lost my shit. I'm like, yeah, it was one of those, if y'all seen Shapeshifter Skin,
Look for it now. If you go back and look at it, like what? Be like, he kind of changed the whole tone of his vibe right on that one word. It's like that was why.
they probably cut away from your face.
I hope so. I can't remember.
I hope so. We all hope so. But yeah, to Jensen's point, he comes out and I'm ahead of him and he's like, Sam, wait, what's going on? He's like, well, I don't know, I have a feeling. It's get back before something happens. And we're all, and Robert Downey McNeil, who's amazing, was directing. And he's like, hey, Jensen, we don't know what the fuck you just said. If you can do another one in English, that would be chef's kiss. And so Jensen's like, yeah, I get you, I got it. So we go back and like, okay, we run out. Sam! Yeah, Dave. We can't leave yet. Look, I'm sure that I sense something inside, and I think it might be a shit. So we gotta go back. And it's like, I'm kind of going like, Jensen, have you been drinking or something? But Robert, director comes back and is like, Jensen, thanks, that was great too, but we still, what just happened? Do you smell toast? And so finally we get to like take 3 or take 4, whatever, run out the door. Sam! Yeah, we can't leave yet. Listen, I was inside and I feel like something happened. And I get the sense that it's a shapeshifter. So that was my response, just like laying on the floor, well, laying on the ground in an alley with dancing and we were laughing. Germs everywhere.
You know when you ask Google Translate to say a word for you? That's what I sounded like. Shapeshifter.
It was good.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for bringing that back up.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Carlin from Nashville, and I just want to say I love you both so much, and I'm really grateful for everything that you all do. Sticking with the music theme, because I work in the music industry, I want to know what y'all's comfort album is.
Comfort?
Yes.
Ooh, good question. I hope this doesn't sound like a joke, but what is yours? I like this question. I don't know if I've ever been asked this.
Probably Fleetwood Mac's Greatest Hits. You can't
Wow. I'm gonna try something, and I think, you know, music, how it changes. Sometimes you're in a mood, you're comforted by like hardcore rock. You're comforted by you know, a lyricist or pop or whatever. Right now, I think what would comfort me quite a bit is like doo-wop, like Motown, like the Isley Brothers or the Temptations or something. Yeah, thank you, one person. Yeah, there's something really feel good to me. My daddy listened to doo-wop and Motown all the time, like Roy Orbison. My mom listened to like Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin, which is fine, because you'd think it'd be flipped. But I think, you know, like Earth Angel from Back to the Future, there's something, you know, like that era, like the 50s, the music, it always comforts me. The Ronettes, we were listening to Be My Baby, Be My Little Baby a second ago, a few minutes ago. Yeah, I go like doo-wop.
It's interesting, because mine's very similar. And I'm going to give you two, but one of them is what I was kind of raised listening to, because my father had a lot of these albums, and I now have it on vinyl, and so it's Sinatra's Greatest Hits. So like you can put up like fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars, like that. I'm like, I'm in my happy place. But also, I think as obviously as I've grown up, I ventured into a lot of other musical genres. I have an affinity for all different kinds of music. A comfort version now that I've maybe found myself is which is going back. I'll go like Miles Davis kind of blue. I can put that on and just feel very at ease and comfortable. But those are comfort albums. I have other albums for if I need a different feeling. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Dave from Wisconsin, and my question is for both of you. With all of the religious themes throughout the seasons, was there ever a time where there was episodes that you struggled with or were maybe a little uncomfortable with, and if there weren't any, were there things that you would like to have seen done?
Hi, Cody from Wisconsin. Thank you for the question. It's a great question. I will say, I remember me for sure, I think the both of us, but Jensen can correct me if I'm mistaken. The first episode, was it called Touched or Hell, Holy of the Hell, or House and Holy, or Angels or something? When we first breached the angel and demon storyline, I think I'll speak for myself. I think what I loved about Supernatural for the first 2 seasons, or 2.5, was it was kind of a story for everybody. And you can put whatever meaning you want into it, much like music. And so, talking about angels or demons or whatever it is, I was like, wait a second, are we getting into is this something the network or studio wants us to do and make it religious? Like this to me was, if you want to make it religious, make it religious. If you don't, then don't. So I think that first episode was difficult. I don't think it was ever difficult after that. And I played Lucifer, I played demons, I played angels. But I knew that it was still a vessel to tell stories, which is ultimately what I loved about it in the first place. But I would say just that one, as far as the religious tropes go.
Yeah, when we kind of ventured into that aspect or that realm of the show, there was a slight hesitation, I think, from he and I just being like, well, this isn't really the show that we signed on for, but maybe it was, and Kripke just failed to tell us that. But when we kind of broke that barrier, it it was very clear to us early on that this wasn't something, we weren't getting into, religious type of there was no kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Commentary on religion. It was taking inspiration from the religious stories. And I was fine. We weren't literally dissecting the stories from the Bible and going after, Noah and asking him how he made that work. It was more of like taking a generalization of religion and the heaven and the hell and utilizing that in our story and doing it in our own way and taking creative liberties with that. And then I think once we realized what that was, then we were able to kind of hop on board and do it.
Yeah, to his point, I don't think we knew where it was going. And then I guess there was one more point for me, which was season 4, after the writer's strike, and season 401, Lazarus Rising, aired, and I watched it, and I was like, okay, we have an angel in the show, Castiel, and he's a new actor, and his name is Misha. And I watched the show when it aired, and I was like, wait, we're doing angels, and ours is a fucking weirdo? Alright. I guess I gotta sell my house.
I don't necessarily know that was by design. I think that was just Misha. And then we just had to deal with it for the next 12 years.
Yeah, 12 more years. Thank you so much for your question.
Shaking a little bit, but I'm 18, I'm finishing my first year of college, and I'm sure you get this question a lot, but I'm wondering if you have any advice, like especially if you could go back and talk to your 18-year-old self.
Well, congratulations on getting through your first year of college, first and foremost. Neither of us went to college, so I wouldn't know what to say to myself in the first year of college. I think when I was in my late teens, early 20s, it was really a time where I would have benefited the most, and I have benefited the most since then, from all the questions I asked. Not the answers I thought I had. So whenever you think you have the answer to anything, or you have it figured out, just ask more questions. Just keep on asking questions. Don't have to be out loud, like right now. But remain curious. And I'm 42, I don't have any answers yet. I certainly didn't at 18. And that's not a statement of like ignorance or naivety or something. It's just, hey, you live, you learn, and you'll find out who you are, you find out what you want to fight for, what you want to care about, where you want to spend your time. So I think these years in your late teens and early 20s, if I were to give my opinion, I hesitate to give advice, but I'll give my opinion, this is a great time to ask every single question you can think of.
This is a chapter in your life. I know it's your life right now, but it is not your whole life. And don't sweat the small stuff. You will be in a completely different place, both mentally and physically and emotionally throughout your life. And so utilize this the best you can as a learning opportunity. And know that it doesn't begin and end in this stage of your life. You've got many to go. So enjoy it.
Thank you guys so much.
So my question is, what was an irrational fear you had as a child?
Bears.
As a child, not as an adult.
For example, I was afraid of alligators. I'm underneath my bed.
Alligators? You from Florida?
No.
You're kidding. Okay, so you were afraid of alligators and now...
No, under her bed. That's why it's irrational.
I see. Well, where do you live?
I was from Oklahoma.
You weren't afraid of tornadoes? Maybe a more rational fear.
What's your address in Oklahoma? Is anybody home right now? Where do you keep your valuables?
Okay, so irrational fear. I get it. Because obviously, because there's no bears in San Antonio.
Correct.
But you had this fear of bears as a kid?
Yes. You didn't?
You've had this fear your whole life?
Bears, dude.
I feel like I'm saying the same word.
Correct.
Okay. Bears.
Yeah. Yes. I don't.
So this is...
Yeah.
But that is a rational fear in certain circumstances or in certain parts of the world.
Like when you're being attacked by a bear.
Right. But it would be irrational to be afraid of bears coming out of the bathroom.
Are there bears in the bathroom? Guess I'm not peeing again today.
But yes, an alligator under your bed, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me ask you this. What do you think sparked that?
I hated having my feet hanging off the side of the bed.
Okay, so you were just afraid of like a monster under the bed.
No, it was specifically alligators.
But the monster was in the form of an actual being.
Yeah.
Which was an alligator.
Yeah.
Got it. That sucks. Because it's like, well, there's a monster in my bed. It's like, monsters aren't real. You don't have to worry about that. That's just in books and science fiction and a show called Supernatural. You don't have to worry about monsters under the bed. But an alligator is a real thing that could cause fear in certain circumstances, and so was there like a book that you read?
No.
Or no, there was a TV show or a movie. You just said you were like,